All right, so the benefits of being the feeder. So I'm going to feed my partner. I'm going to find the base. And as soon as I touch, the first thing I want to do is get my awareness down to the feet and feel the line. So if I push this way, I'm going to lever his shoulders. But if I grab his elbow slightly, pull it in, and lift with my thumb, it puts the tension there. Now I can drop. So the way I use my thumb and fingers to align his shoulders, I can get more weight onto his feet. So I want to be able to find his feet nice and cleanly. So then I lift my chest up to transfer my weight onto his base, and then I press down. He stretches and gives me an elastic line. And his objective is first to get his body aligned, open the joints, start stretching into me, and then relaxing, releasing his stretch to make his springs and elasticity more elastic. My objective is to find base and be consistent with how much weight I put onto him. So now I'm getting my whole weight on, and now he just stretches a little bit more and gives me more elasticity in the springs. And then once we've formed a baseline, he relaxes through me, stretches the energy, and then I feel that, and I feel the energy in. And he's got to reduce any push or any giving back to me. He just has to relax and stretch like that. Now, each time I do this, I'm feeling his base and transferring weight onto the base. Now, the nice thing about this, after you've done a few sessions, when you touch someone's base, you've got it straight away from feeding. It's a byproduct. So you get so clean on exactly how to get to the ground, and you put a circle around it, you own that circle and you can uproot your partner very easily. So this is a side effect of feeding the base, is that you know the base well, you get a sense of how to improve your partner's structure when you feed, and you can also break his structure when you want to bounce. So it's you're building your Fajin potential by feeding. Okay, so I feed into my partner's base, he stretches through, and each time he opens up his stretch, he wants to reduce tension, increase life force. So it's a transition from mechanical Fajin to working with the internals. So as we do this, I use a constant amount of weight, I use a constant speed, and then as my partner tunes in the regulating the space, regulating the relaxation of the space, getting his mind more sung to absorb my mass, transfer it onto the fascia and so forth, then we'll hit a level where, okay, I can start to feed in a little bit faster. So I put a little bit more, and I give more of my body weight, and I rhythmically increase this step by step. I don't want to give too much too quickly, because it'll just force tension into my partner. I want him to always be in a state of relaxed energy awareness and just stretching out. So if he's feeding me, as a starting point, I give him a bit of stick, and then I move more towards the relaxation of the energy. And you always want to know when, let's say if I'm giving him some tension and energy at the same time versus just pure energy and relaxation. And you want to sense it in yourself. And let's say I give him some tension, he feels that, he can say, yeah, your shoulders are locked up, and then I can release the shoulders and then open the space. So the feedback between my partner and myself, as he's got to tell me where I'm holding, basically what can you feel inside me. So if I'm feeding my partner and he's bouncing me, I can feel his shoulders and I can feel him biting. So I've got to say, hey, you're biting. Now just relax the mind and the awareness and empty the point of contact. There, now extend the mind. Now it's nice and empty. And then I increase feeding into that empty space. So you, depending on what type of energy you're developing, how you feed and how you communicate with your partner allows you to take all these different branches of development. So let's say you're doing push energy, and the push energy touches base and then releases magnetically up and then sends the energy out. It's sort of like doing electric, magnetic, electric. For that, my partner needs to feed the Jinn to me in a very specific way so that I can amplify that particular push energy. If it was ward off, it'd be different again. If it's roll back, different again. And the way he puts his force into my body allows me to optimize and build that particular energy much more efficiently. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking the physical body mechanic approach and just relaxing the mental space through your body mechanics. People can get very good results. They can even develop empty force with that method because it's the mind that's relaxing into the space to control balance. But the growth rate will be much slower. People who use that approach will take a very long time to get up there. If their body mechanics is relaxing into the fascia to create the feeling of life force, that magnetic fluidic quality, and you're using that fluidic quality to absorb balance, absorb force, and balance your partner, the growth rate's going to be much faster. So you can get to the same place a lot quicker simply by tuning in the body to energy awareness. And this is much easier when your partner feeds you. So if, let's say, you're with a partner who's just, okay, I'm going to push forward, not onto your feet, and as they push forward, they give you tension and you drop underneath the tension. You're not taking their whole body weight onto your feet. You're just kind of arguing with the lines to make your kung fu a little bit better, your push hands a little bit better, to figure them out and then stretch underneath. Versus if he puts his weight directly on my feet, I don't have to think about push hands. All I have to think about is my body, life force awareness, the mental space, and radiating energy into the space. So it allows me to concentrate more on the things that are important for Jinn to arise versus kung fu, push hands, competitiveness, and so forth. So the feeder has to create an environment that has zero competitiveness. They're just jumping on your partner's trampoline with their arms and putting the force down onto the feet, and then your partner builds the springs through tuning awareness to life force. This process of how to do that, it really regulates how fast a person develops. A bad feeder will slow down the development of the practicer. A good feeder will speed it up. Now, as soon as you start to get the Jinn arising, now you start putting yourself in competitive environments, push hands environments, and so forth. But the topic of the push hands and the topic of Fa Jinn, or developing the internal power, they're two totally separate classes. They should be kept separate until the Fa Jinn starts to rise, and then you integrate, and you'll get better results. I think a lot of people will learn push hands and try and do Fa Jinn in push hands, and it won't work because they haven't developed the skill to start with. They haven't developed the power to start with. You essentially get good at what you do, and Fa Jinn has to be done as a very specific thing to get good at it before you can express it and develop it in all these different complex patterns that you'll see in push hands. So the basics here is the side effects of feeding is that you're going to get a lot of benefit in listening. You get very good sensitivity to your partner's base, and when you can feed perfectly in someone's base, you can also control it and break their structure. It's just a natural side benefit of it. And the quality of your partner is the quality of your growth rate. So if you have a poor quality partner who's competitive and trying to neutralize you, get rid of them. They're a waste of your time. Find someone who is going to be on the same wavelength as you, trying to achieve the same goals. Build the energies, then put yourself in more competitive environments once you've developed a little bit further. All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks.